research proposal is a comparative study looking at the effectiveness of online learning versus face-to-face in grade 12 international business. I'll start off with the introduction. Why is this topic important? Now, there is a waiting list for grade 12 e-learning in international business course. With increasing globalization and global trade, there are increasing opportunities for students with a global perspective. Many students who wish to major in business in university tried to take the face-to-face course, but they were not able to because of timetabling conflicts and take the e-learning course instead. However, by the end of the course, many of the students that enrolled for the e-learning course drop out. Are guidance counselors enrolling the right type of students in the program? How does the effectiveness of the online course compare to the face-to-face course? If e-learning is to be effective, it would be an excellent option for First Nation communities, which are often small, isolated, and lack specialists. Only 8% of FNMI people aged 25 to 64 who hold a university degree, compared to 23% of non-FNMI in the same age group who do. The benefits to FNMI students include providing high school options not normally available, allowing them to remain in their communities for schooling, and increasing the potential to complete high school with the required courses to pursue secondary studies. Now let's look at what has been done in terms of a literature review and then a gap in identification. A literature review of studies of college courses demonstrated that learning decreases when there is no face-to-face instruction. Students in blended classrooms where they spend time with instructor and also online perform about the same as fully face-to-face courses. What do studies show for younger students? Heppen's study of Chicago high school students who had already failed a face-to-face algebra course and were enrolled in a summer credit recovery course. They were randomly assigned to a face-to-face or online format. The online students were significantly less likely to pass the course and need a classroom with a teacher's support. The study suggests that until weak academic students can demonstrate the self-motivation, self-regulation, and organization skills needed to be successful in an online course, they should not be allowed to enroll in these courses. The existing studies demonstrate the need for online learning to focus on increasing course options or providing acceleration for students who are stronger academically instead of trying to help students who are struggling in school. The literature review also demonstrates a lack of research studies conducted at the high school level of the effectiveness of online learning versus face-to-face learning. More studies need to be conducted to study if the grades of online high school students are lower, whether they are less successful in later courses, and if they are more likely to drop out. With more academic research at the high school level, educational policy can be devised and implemented as to which students should be allowed to enroll or have priority when enrolling in online courses because of limited spaces. So the first research question that I propose is, how does student engagement compare for students taking online and face-to-face grade 12 international business courses? And that raises the question, what is student engagement in the first place? So in order to measure level of student engagement, In a classroom, we can look at the number of raised hands, how much participation in discussion, students on task. How about student engagement in D2L? We can measure the level of participation in question-driven discussion using D2L. We also have the ability to collaborate with not only other students but also the teacher, eh, which demonstrates student engagement. Another way is by how co-creating materials. Now, student engagement is also demonstrated by the level of academic challenge for students and the use of higher order thinking. Now, what tool are we going to use? We're going to use Google Forms. And we would have both open-ended questions. Example would be, asking the students, how was your experience using D2L in this course? Explain. And asking the students close-ended questions, like, for example, on a scale of 1 to 5, how would you rate the level of challenge in the course? Let's look at the table using the research method. So pretty much went through the first research question and discussed the survey. What's the data analysis method? That would be Likert scale and also content analysis. The participants basically would have one online grade 12 international business class and one face-to-face class. 30 students in each class, total of 60 students. Now, I would have another research question, which is compared with retaking grade 12 international business as a face-to-face course, what is the impact of taking the course online on students' scores on course assessments and grades in the course? The data collection instruments would be quantitative, so summative tests and assignment grades. The data analysis method would be t-test, and the participants would be the same. What are the implications, the pedagogical and professional practice and future research? My goal for my qualitative study is to provide the basis that can lead to new studies, especially for marginalized students. More research studies need to be conducted on the online learning needs of the FNMI student population. The FNMI schools lack specialized traditional courses for students working ahead of their grades. Advances in artificial intelligence will increase the effectiveness of online courses as the course content and pace adapts to the needs of each individual learner. There's a need to conduct more research in the field of personalized learning and its effect on online learning. Another area that needs more study is the effectiveness of synchronous online versus asynchronous online learning. YRDSB's e-learning night program is moving to more synchronous online instruction, while the day program remains almost strictly asynchronous. An important study would be to compare the effectiveness of the two approaches and its effect on student learning. So this page shows the references that I used, and I'm ready to take your questions. Thank you.